Hello everyone, so I will be doing a book haul. I didn't get all these books at once. They were accumulation from a couple of months. Some were presents for my birthday. So let's get started. The first book I got was Vengeful by V.E. Schwab. This is the second book in the Villains series. The first one being Vicious, and in this one it revolves around Victor and Eli, who were college roommates and friends, and they both experience near-death experiences that give them extraordinary abilities. However, something goes wrong with Victor, and he's been in prison for 10 years, and now he has escaped to get revenge on Eli. And so in Vengeful, it is a continuation of Victor's revenge. And I loved Vicious, and so I am so excited to read this. I just reread Vicious because I don't really remember everything, and so I just finished it. So now I'm going to begin this soon. The next book is If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. This is a mystery thriller novel about Oliver Marks, who is just being released from jail after 10 years for a murder he may or may not have committed. And the detective is there to greet him, and he is about to retire, and he wants to know what really happened. I think this sounds like such a good concept. It involves Shakespeare. Back in college, they were doing a Shakespeare play, and each character kind of represents a Shakespeare's character, like a hero, a villain, a temptress, etc. And I think that sounds very interesting. Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ning. This is a contemporary fiction novel about two families living in the 90s in like a suburban town. There is the Richardson family who like playing by the rules, and then Mia Warren comes, who is a single mother and rents a room from the Richardsons. And the family soon become more than just tenants. However, when one of the Richardsons' friends decides to adopt a Chinese-American baby, it kind of divides the town and puts the Richards and the Warrens on different sides. I loved Celeste Ning's other book, Everything I've Never Told You, so I'm excited to see if I will like her other books. I'm hoping I will. I mean, I've heard great things about it. The Monsters of Florence by Douglas Preston and Mario Spezzi. Sorry, probably wrong. This is a true crime novel about Douglas Preston, who moves his family to Italy, and they find out that their farmhouse was a scene of the most infamous double murder committed by the serial killer known as Monsters of Florence. And so Douglas meets up with Mario, who's a journalist, to understand more about what happened, and they kind of like start to investigate it, and then soon they become targets of the police. Douglas is told to leave the country, and Mario is now a suspect. I am a big true crime fan, and so I think it's really interesting reading a book by people who are actually involved in the case. The Cabin by Natasha Preston. This is a young adult mystery thriller novel about Mackenzie, who goes off into a cabin with 6 of her friends to just party. However, it is not the fun times that they expected, because when they wake up, 2 of their friends are murdered, and all the evidence points to one of them having to be the murderer. They just don't know which one it is. I've read another book by Natasha Preston. I already know these aren't the greatest books. They aren't well written, and the stories are kind of mediocre, but I found her last novel entertaining. And sometimes you just need an easy read book in between things, and I think there's nothing wrong just reading a good old entertainment book. The Circle by Dave Eggers. This is a science fiction dystopian novel about May Holland, who is just hired by The Circle, which is the most powerful internet company in the world. Their operating system links everything from users' emails, bank accounts, social media, all into one identity. And May is so excited and so grateful to be working at this company. It is a huge opportunity for her, but it is not everything that it seems to be. And this just sounds pretty cool. Everyone's identity into one company. Things doesn't sound like that's a smart idea. And the guy at the bookstore recommended me this. He said it is amazing, and so I want to give it a try. Before The Devil Breaks You by Libba Bray. This is the third book in the Diviner series. I loved the other two, and I haven't read this one yet, and I saw it for like $5 in my local grocery store, which is weird, but when I saw it, I had to grab it because I have not read this one, and I need to know what happens in the rest of the series. Good Omens by Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett. This is a fantasy humor book about the end of the world. And an angel and a demon both live on Earth, and they're kind of not looking forward to the rapture. They like their life on Earth, and so they kind of team up together. And I've read this book about 4 years ago, but I really don't remember it. I remember really loving it. And there's a series on Amazon that I really want to watch, but I want to reread this book, and that is why I got it. And the last book I got was The Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Society by Mary Ann Schaefer and Anne Burroughs. So this is a historical fiction romance novel about Juliet, who receives a letter from a stranger, and she is kind of intrigued because it is from a person from the Guernsey's Literary Potato Peel Pie Society. I don't really know if I like romance books, because the only books I've ever read really were young adult romance books, and those are not good, but I've never really read an adult romance book, and this sounds good. It takes place in the German occupation in 1946, and so that could be very interesting. Those are all the books I got, so like and subscribe, and I will see y'all later. Bye!